Good day, everyone. Tim from Timber Visions here. So today I'm over at the old Christmas tree farm, and I'm going to do a little bit of work. It's been cold here in Northwest Iowa for the last couple weeks, and it's finally warmed up a little bit, and I got a little bit of cabin fever. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I cut a bunch of trees down here, and I pushed them in a pile here to the south. And I got one brush pile here I was thinking about burning, but a lot of these trees are just dropped and pushed because I just didn't have time, and I didn't have a place to separate really at first. But now I have a little bit more room. So I'm gonna break out the Milwaukee saw, and I'm gonna start to limb some of these, save the main branches or the main trunks that I can off of these, and just get it to the point where I have less bulk to deal with later here. So stick with me, and we'll get this done. I'll probably put you on a time lapse because it's gonna be a lot of work. So the one thing that I did not account for was everything being frozen into the snow that's back here. So earlier in the year, we got, it was probably close to a foot of snow or more within a week there. And it was like early December. And later in December, it warmed up. The sun never really came out, but the temperatures came up and everything melted. Anything that was, out in the open, had thin snow, is now bare ground. However, in here, the snow is pretty deep, which has been probably really good for the rabbits and stuff, because they got a nice little place to hide out in. But unfortunately, all of the limbs that are pointed towards the ground are frozen into the snow, frozen into the ground. So I can't really move things to get things flipped over. So I think maybe with a tractor I could drag stuff out, but I really don't want to get that involved today. So it's in the afternoon and don't have very much time anyway to do this. So I just figured I'd get out here and get some fresh air, which I have accomplished. And I did get, a few things trimmed up, and kind of got a little better idea how things are going over here. And on that note, I haven't officially said this yet because it has not come to pass yet, but my wife and I are in the midst of purchasing this property. So this has kind of been in the works since last fall, which is why the guy who does currently own this and is selling it to us, he gave me the go ahead to start cutting some stuff, because he had to work through some some title stuff to get to the point where we could purchase it. So he's worked through that, and right now we are just waiting for a survey team to come and survey this property and get legal description updated, and then it will be we will be purchasing it. So I am really excited to have this area as my new woodlot. I know the other lot that's to the north of here, between the house and here, is what I initially said was going to be our woodlot, which if we couldn't get this to go through, that was going to be the new woodlot. But ultimately, this area here is going to be our new woodlot. So it's almost an acre of land, and I've opened it up quite a bit. There's still some stuff I need to do here. Obviously, this giant pile of brush needs to be taken care of one way or another. But and then there's a building over there, that little red building. I'm sure you've seen it in other videos. I would like to get that taken down and out of here and free up that space, because I think the sawmill was going to sit up in that area, not in that orientation, but you know, a lot of things are up for debate. Let's take a little walk here. Okay, so I kind of want to get people's opinion, and just because you give your opinion doesn't mean I will necessarily go with it for one way or another. But what I'm thinking is roughly where this little red building is now. Take that down. There's a box elder behind it. Take that down. Trim up this walnut tree right here a little bit. And then I think in this general area here would be a good place to put the sawmill, with the head to the north and the tail to the south. So I would, if I had a north wind, it blows the sawdust away from me. If I have a west wind, it blows the sawdust away from me. And those are the prevailing winds in this area. We do get east winds and south winds, but even if it's a south wind, as long as it's not southeast, it'll blow the sawdust, you know, away from me. So that's kind of my thought there. Let me know in the comments what you think. This little stand of spruces, I'm probably going to leave, get some nice afternoon shade. Everything over here, pretty much, except for the things that are dead, I'm going to leave too, and you know, kind of clean up that corner over here because it is kind of a mess right now. The walnut I want to leave, but yeah, like I said, trim up some of these limbs that are hanging way out. Yeah, here's just a cluster of box elder, and you know, some of these trees are dead most of the way up. If they're dead, they're coming out. If there's some life, considerable life, they're going to stay. There's a cluster of silver maple in the back corner here. I'll probably leave those. We get all this stuff back in here cleaned up. That limb that's sitting on that little building there, work on getting that picked out of there and cleaned up, and just basically get this back corner here all cleaned up. Trim the lower branches that are, you know, dead. But yeah, like this box elder will go, and then the tree next to it will go, obviously. And then probably on this side, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's a box elder. Maybe it's a mulberry. Yeah, if this is a mulberry or box elder, it don't matter. It's coming out. And then I think this whole mess here will come out too. So it's going to open up the middle completely. These trees are on the property edge, other than that dead one will go away. There's no sense in leaving dead trees. But this little cluster here, I'll just maybe trim at the bottom a little bit, make it easier to maintain. And then this spruce, and then that, I think that's a ponderosa pine, will stay. This one is toast, so it'll go away. But yeah, get all this mess cleaned up in the middle here. Really open it up. So I got a lot of area. So when somebody calls and says, hey Tim, I got logs for you, I can go get logs, and I got a place to put them. Then I also have places to stack milled up lumber. I got places to put firewood. It's gonna be nice. But like I said, I want some shade. You know, all those there will stay, I believe. Maybe that mulberry over there will go. I'm uncertain on that yet. I might leave it. It's kind of on the corner there. Give me a little west shade. And then there is another walnut tree there. I'll leave that. Just trim up the bottom stuff so I don't have branches hanging down if I'm coming through with the tractor or whatever. But all in all, pretty large area. And once I get everything cleaned up, get this pile of trees taken care of, we'll have a nice area. But there's still a lot of work to do, obviously. So And I'm going to bring you guys along for the majority of this, but by all means, if people got ideas, experience, let me know. But yeah, like I said, kind of want to put the mill over there. I think I'm going to put my splitting area over here, and then, you know, I'll find places to put logs and stack firewood. I'm thinking the firewood I kind of want to have out in the middle to get sun and wind. It'll be interesting to see this summer just how much wind comes through here. I would imagine it's a fair amount, especially with nothing to the north of us, and it's big and open to the west. So I would think there's going to be some pretty good sun, but I have quite the expanse of crap to take care of too. So I kind of want to get this taken care of before I get too many more taken down. So tell me what you think. I'd love to hear you guys' opinion. People have been watching my channel for a long time. Oh, also the woodlot on the other side of town. As I sell or burn that firewood, I'm not gonna put it stock any more firewood over there. I'm gonna work on trying to, I don't know if I'm gonna process firewood over there and then move the bags over here, or if I'm just gonna move the logs over here. Probably be easier just to move the logs that I have over there, over here, get rid of the stuff that I don't want, and, you know, just move firewood production over here. But that isn't gonna happen until we own this. I'm not gonna move firewood production to the lot up front because eventually it's gonna get back here. So I just soon leave it over there until this is purchased, which is hopefully will be in the next month or so. Hopefully, you know, fingers crossed. But like I said, it's been in the works for a while. To the south here, there are a lot of trees on the old railroad tracks, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I think in the summertime we will get pretty good sun in here. But we will see. Unfortunately, the company that owns that's like in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, so I might just call them and ask them if I can't cut some of these trees down so I can get a little bit more sunlight in here. But we'll see how things go after a year of owning this and using it. You know, it might be plenty of sun either way. So, but yeah, tell me what you think. I'm pretty dang excited. I'm not gonna lie. I've been wanting an area like this for a long time, and the fact that it's right across the street from our house is even better. And yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet. And then I'll be moving the firewood stand across to the lot that's just north of here, and I plan to make a different firewood stand that has more loose, like $20 loose stacks for people who burn a little bit more, you know, get multiple bundles instead. They could get that and save a little money. So we'll see. And I might have, you know, full 1/3 quart bag sitting there. If people want to load that right into their vehicles, because that'll be the nice thing is there'll be a spot for people to pull in off the road, park right next to the stand, and purchase firewood. So where I currently have it, you have to get across the boulevard or the between the street and the sidewalk, which I don't technically own, so I can't put anything there. I get to mow it and everything and repair sidewalk, you know, city ordinance stuff. Anyway, so with this driveway, people will be able to pull right in next to the firewood stand and load stuff up into their SUV, truck, or whatever. And they might be more prone to get a little bit larger quantities, and so I can sell stuff self-serve that way a little bit easier. And I'm going to advertise the crap out of that, and hopefully that'll work out pretty good. But yeah, so a lot of work ahead of me here. So let me know in the comments what you think. Until next time, be safe, brothers and sisters.